Working from an RV requires connection to the internet, and I'm going to share with you what we're using in this episode of Travels with Lynn. Welcome back, everyone. My name's Patrick. I'm so glad you stopped by. And today what I want to do is just a short video to talk about how we work from our RV, because obviously if you're going to run a business or you're going to work on the road, you have to stay connected to the internet. Now, for years, what we have done is we have just operated off of our AT&T cell phones and hotspotted, and most of the time that works okay. The problem is our seasonal site here at Happy Acres, we're kind of in like an AT&T dead zone, and so we just do not get good data at all, and we needed a solution. Now, you might say, what about the RV park Wi-Fi? Now, as most of you know, most RV parks don't have Wi-Fi capabilities that are really that good for running a business or working from the road. And same is true here at Happy Acres. The Wi-Fi is really for basic type things such as checking your email, and I need high-speed internet in order to upload videos like this particular video. In fact, over the years of RVing, there's only been a handful of parks where I've actually found Wi-Fi speed so good that we could actually upload videos. Included places like Forest Ridge Campground up in Ellsworth, Maine, the Ridge down in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and even Fort Wilderness at Walt Disney World has amazing speeds with their Wi-Fi. But those types of parks are really the exception in today's campground industry. So we had to look at what we might be able to do so that we could continue to run both our eBay business and our YouTube business from our RV here at Happy Acres and when we go on the road. There were three options that I considered earlier this summer when I started looking for an alternative to using our cell phones as our internet provider. One was these resellers of internet. Now, everybody remembers the Nomad Internet from a couple years ago, and there's other providers like that where in essence they're buying internet coverage from cell phone towers and then repackaging it. The second option was the T-Mobile home internet. Now, we have friends that use that on the road. Even though it worked really good, and it worked really good right here at Happy Acres, T-Mobile has been talking about eliminating the roaming feature of that plan because it was originally designed for home internet use, not for RVers to take it all over the country. In fact, earlier this year, T-Mobile announced that they were ending that and they were going to start charging a much higher rate if you wanted to take it on the road. Now, they did suspend that, they never implemented it, but I still think that's probably coming. The third option was to go with Starlink. The advantage to Starlink was they actually have a roam plan designed for RVers. The downside to the Starlink was you have to buy the equipment, and that's a big upfront cost, and there's a fairly substantial monthly fee for their unlimited roam plan. However, one of the real pluses for me was the fact that you can do it on a month-to-month basis, meaning we could pay for it during the summer months when we're here at our seasonal site at Happy Acres, and we could shut it off in the winter months when we're back at our house. So ultimately, which one did we decide? We chose Starlink. Now, this is our Starlink receiver. We went about getting our Starlink by going to Best Buy, where we were able to buy the equipment same day. They actually had it in stock. Now, we ended up paying $600 for our equipment, but just a week after we bought it, Starlink announced they had dropped the price to $500, and Best Buy was great about going ahead and refunding us the $100 difference. So in the end, we ended up paying the $500. Now, this is one of their newest generations. It's not their mini that is being advertised. This is the full actual Starlink receiver. But you'll notice the size on this. It's about an arm length long. On the back side of it, it just has this little stand that pops up. You can buy different adapters if you want to put it on a pole or mount it someplace, but we have been using it this summer just on the ground. We've used it here at Happy Acres. We've also used it on the road in Hilton Head and also in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Now, also in the box for the $500, besides getting this actual receiver unit, you get a really nice long cable. Now, this cable is wrapped around our fence here, goes all the way to the other side, and I actually am bringing that cable into our RV where we run in our water hose into the outdoor storage pass-through unit. That cable then attaches to a router that will send that signal out throughout our RV. And in fact, the router is so good, both of my neighbors here at the park are able to get the reception of our internet. In fact, the signal is so good on that router, I can go to either neighbor's RV and still get my internet signal. So it's a really good router that comes with it, in my opinion. And then finally, you get the power block so that you can plug in to 110. And you do need the 110 current to power everything. So all of that was $500. At Best Buy. Now, setup was a breeze. We were literally on the internet within about 30 minutes of unboxing our equipment. The way this sets up is you take the unit out, you point it roughly north, you plug in your cables, plug in your router, and then you log into the Starlink app. From there, you connect to your unit, and then you choose your plan and pay for it. Now, they do offer different plans, whether you're just going to use it at one location, like at your house. We wanted the roam. And then once it finds a single satellite, there is a simple alignment tool on there where you open up the alignment, you set your cell phone on this device, and then you just adjust it a little bit left or a little bit right. It tells you when you're perfectly locked in, and that was it. That's how simple it was. Now, in terms of how well does it work, I have to be honest, we have been using this now for 2 months, and it has performed well above my expectations. Typically, we can get as high as around 200 download speeds when we're here at Happy Acres, and uploads sometimes go up around 20 to 30. Sometimes during the day, I suppose based upon the weather, maybe the clouds, we'll see a little bit of reduce. What we haven't seen is a lot of outages. For the most part, it has been a very consistent internet feed for us. We saw the same exact results when we were traveling both to Hilton Head and Pigeon Forge. It worked flawlessly and provided us the quality of internet that I needed to keep both of our small businesses running. In terms of price for the actual service, once we own the equipment, the $500 is invested, then we pay monthly. And on that roam plan, we are paying $150 a month. Now, I know a lot of you are saying there is no way I would spend that much money for internet. And I'm not sure if you're just looking for internet to stream TV or to check emails, you probably wouldn't want to invest that much money. But in our case, where we are trying to run small businesses from our RV, it's really a necessary cost of doing business, and it appears to be a good solution for the problem we were having of not having good internet everywhere we went. Now, what I really like about this, though, is the fact that when it comes October and we move back home into our house, we're going to be allowed to shut off our service, not pay for it for the winter, and then we can reactivate it again in the spring. Or if for some reason, if we're traveling over Christmas break or spring break and we're at a location where the internet's not good, I can just pop this out, go ahead, log in, and pay for another month and give us the internet that we need. And I just really like that flexibility. Even though the monthly cost is high, I think the flexibility does help to offset that because I'm not paying like year-round on some kind of contract. One of my recommendations is that if you do end up purchasing one of these Starlinks to use in your RV and you're going to be mobile, is save the box that it comes in. Now, the box that it comes in is not that big, and it ends up being the perfect way to transport that receiver. So all I do is when we get ready to travel, I just unplug the cable from the back of the receiver, place it in the box, slide it into our outdoor storage. That way it's protected while we travel. I don't actually unhook any of the other equipment, the router or the power block. I just leave it in the outdoor storage where it's at. And then when we get to our location, I just pull that box out, open it up, set out the receiver in the yard, point it roughly north, plug the cable in, go through a quick alignment, and boom, we are back on the internet. So that's what we're using, and I can say after 2 months, we are super happy. Would we like it to be cheaper? Absolutely. Who wouldn't like things to be cheaper? But it's a good solution for us that has worked out really well. I have zero regrets about getting it. I think there's lots of options out there, and I think a lot of it boils down to what are your actual needs and how good of internet do you need on the road. I hope this at least gives you a little more insight if you're considering Starlink, and until next time, everybody, we'll see you on down the road. Bye.
Travels with the lady, we'll see you on down the road.